Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and all glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught me this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect, which are scattered abroad at USA. Shalom. Yeah, so we're in a time of course, the things that are written within the scriptures coming to life in its perfection, as far as the evils increasing. You know, you're starting to see talks of civil war escalating. There's protests in the streets, in the cities, and even abroad across the seas, you got protests, all right, which is a part of the signs that the Lord told us to look out for. Amongst that, the visitation of the Lord with these strange weather events, solar, polar vortex, winter polar vortex that we're currently going through, power outages. So these times that we're in, man, is equated unto a woman who is getting ready to give birth, and which before that birth, she experiences great pains. All right, and so when that birth is complete, after that, there is no more pain, but rather joy. So that's equated unto Israel being delivered out of tribulation, in which we're about to go through holy hell, leading all the way up into the salvation. So 2 16 and verse 37, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth a son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass a womb, which pains when a child cometh forth they slack not a moment. So even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So this lets you know what time we in, man. It lets you know that these things are only going to increase and to get worse and worse as we increase in prophecy. So don't look for things to get better, but look for them to get worse and worse, to the point of them being almost unbearable. Okay, those perilous times as we read about. And so amongst the civil war, amongst the strange weather events, the earthquakes, tsunamis, whatever it may be, hurricanes, tornadoes, you're going to have also pestilences. All right, and these are the things that the prophets of old warned about. Our Lord Yahweh Shah, who pretty much echoed the sentiment from Jeremiah 28 about the prophets before men of old, as Jeremiah said, prophesying both against many kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So Yahweh Shai, came in that same stead. Matthew 24, and we'll start at verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Where you're going to have civil wars, you're going to have different conflicts that you're starting to see escalate. That's leading up to World War III. All right, Iran, America, Ukraine, Russia, Iran, Israel, you know what I'm saying? It says, and there should be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places, a total societal collapse, inflation, there's going to be a lack of food, there's going to be pestilences, lockdowns, quarantines, okay? Earthquakes in diverse places, all these are just the beginning of the sorrows. So when these things start to take place, just know that that's not even, it's just the beginning of it. Like the contractions when they first start are not that intense, but as you increase towards deliverance, they get more and more intense. Let you know that how dire and how bad it's going to be, man, as the Lord is equating these times into the worst time in human history. So just going to this article right here, and I got 2 articles. Because these devils, these lesser luminaries, they know what's up. They know what's coming down the pipe. And that's the reason why they use their riches to try to, pretty much set themselves up to build a nest of safety as far as these bunkers in these different lands. So they know that something major is coming. So right here from the People's Voice, James Cameron flees the U.S., claims America will spiral into disarray when the next pandemic is unleashed. And your boy BG, or Gil Bates, had the same sentiment. He said something to the effect of his second one will surely get their attention. I'm talking about the second pandemic, because even when you go on to the Davos meeting, I think on their website they tell you that the C-119 was nothing more than a test run to see how you people will react. So they use that as a gauge to understand what to do in these times when they bring forth the real thing. You see? Because they about to bring forth another Plandemiks, all right, that's going to, of course, cripple the economy and help them bring forth the NWO. So right here, it says Hollywood director James Cameron has fled to New Zealand, describing the United States under a second Trump era as insane, and predicting that when the next Plandemiks strikes, the country will descend into disarray. So he knows that another Plandemiks is coming. See? The Titanic director spoke bluntly on a recent episode of In Depth with Graham Basinger about relocating to the land of the long white cloud where he both lives and spent years working on the Avatar movies. So Variety reports Cameron first addressed his reason for heading south of the equator to take up citizenship in a country that has a population of 23 million sheep and just over 5 million people, right? So that land over there is something like a safe haven, like a nest for these elites. You know, you can look this up. So right here, bonkers in New Zealand. So bonkers in New Zealand largely refers to the trend of wealthy individuals, particularly from the U.S., building high-end apocalypse-proof bunkers and purchasing remote, secure compounds in the country to survive global catastrophes, right? So it's nothing more than a safe haven. A safe haven, New Zealand is considered an ideal boat hole due to its isolation, political stability, and lack of involvement in major global conflicts. Okay? So, as they prepare to flee, well, you Americans going to be left in this shit. All right? They plan to ride out, you know, this apocalyptic time. And that so-called Noah's Ark, these bunkers, right? But you people going to be left out there to the elements. So this right here could be a part of, you know, the next disease X that they're going to bring forth. It could be a plethora of different diseases at one time. But it's going to cause mass confusion. So right here, recently, all right, from the Telegraph, it says, health experts scramble to contain outbreak of deadly Nipah virus. 2 nurses at a hospital in India are infected with the bat-borne pathogen that inspired the Hollywood film Contagion. Ain't that a damn coincidence, huh? So this disease inspired the movie Contagion. You think it's by coincidence? I don't think so. So right here it says 2 cases of Nipah virus, a rare bat-borne pathogen, have been confirmed in an Indian hospital, promoting a nationwide alert as well as local quarantine and surveillance measures. See? So, you know, these viruses, especially this one right here, you know, just in particular, all right, going to cause a lot of panic because right here, according to the report, the virus has a fatality rate of up to 75%. So if you catch this, it's a 75% chance that you're not going to make it. And what's that going to produce? Panic, man. Mass panic. Hysteria. Draconian measures. It says the virus has a fatality rate of up to 75% and cause a range of symptoms beginning with a fever, vomiting, and fatigue before developing into respiratory issues and swelling of the brain. Neurological issues like encephalitis can appear months or years after an initial infection. And that fuels a narrative for the brain chip. It can appear months or years after an initial infection. So in response to the new cases, several Indian states have directed their health authorities to strengthen surveillance for acute encephalitis syndrome, a broad term for brain inflammation that can be caused by Nipah infection. So you can see a part of the narrative is going to be used to promote the mark of the beast being in your forehead, right? So persons admitted with AES, particularly those with travel or contact history linked to West Bengal, should be closely monitored and evaluated for possible Nipah virus infection, reads one advisory issued by the authorities of Tamil Nadu, a state in southern India. All right, so on and so forth. So yeah, this is going to produce another level of surveillance, especially considering the fact that, it can have long-term effects, and it's, it has a 75% fatality rate, man. Okay. So right here again on the top, India's Ministry of Health and Family Welfare issued a nationwide alert urging states to strengthen surveillance. See, urging states to strengthen surveillance, detection, and preventative measures to reduce the risk and prevent any further spread. And I remember a video that came out a while back with the chip. I think CNN was hosting, a little segment then with chip and how it could be used to detect diseases before they even came forth. So you can see how this is built up to them presenting the chip also as a form of safety and security. So we know what Esau is doing behind the scenes, man. And it's going to be a worldwide thing. That's why the scriptures point out that sorrow should come upon on every side. That's mainly going to be initiated through the left hand of Esau. All right, who the Lord's going to use to do it to bring plagues upon the world. 2 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. All right, and he's going to use again the sword of Esau to facilitate a lot of this. By being able to manipulate the weather, causing strange weather events, earthquakes in diverse places. Because he's been given godlike capabilities, man. And also to bring forth pestilences. It says, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, death, and destruction. For weakness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. All right, so look for new diseases circulating that's going to produce even more draconian measures to where, you're going to be isolated, shut down and stuck in your homes on quarantine. And, we don't know if you got it or not. So let's take precaution. You know what I'm saying? And you know how these devils get down, man. They're going to paint you, Jakes, as a target, and you the ones who are suffering the most. And they're going to be in your neighborhood, cutting you off from resources. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a terrible time, right? It's going to be a horrible time. So, yeah, we're in those perilous times, all right, that our Lord spoke about. Or that you read in 2 Timothy 3rd chapter. But our Lord spoke about it right here. In which these are pretty much the beginning of sorrows. So, for the elect, though, we always bring out Psalms 91. All right, because the angels are going to guide the elect so that we won't be consumed by these different plagues. Yeah, we get sick every now and then, but when the Lord starts unleashing, allows Esau to facilitate these different diseases, how they come about, the elect will be protected. So Psalms 91 and verse 9, because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which is my refuge, see, even the Most High their habitation. So we take refuge within the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's a strong tower. So he is who we flee to for protection. Meanwhile, the world is seeking help from Esau. So a refuge, right? Matter of fact, Strong's H4268, and this is Mahasa. Yeah, Mahasa. Yep. So it says here, a refuge, shelter from rain or storm, from danger or falsehood. Okay, it all first starts with you receiving this truth, which is going to shelter you from, these different plagues and elements that's going to be brought forth to destroy the 2/3. So because I was made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, and neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Right? For he will give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. The angels control, the plagues and whether you get sick or not, or whether you preserve. They got the power to block that. So if they're initiated on your behalf to stop you from getting whatever they got out there, then you're going to know that it was the Lord that did that. See? While people around you are suffering, extreme headaches, their heads exploding, bleeding at their eyes and ears and nose, right? in every extremity. So, you know, when you see all that and you just good, and you gonna know that Yahweh Shemashah is behind that. You know, but yeah, we about to head into some very turbulent times. You see, some very turbulent times. So just want to bring it out real quick. Be on the lookout for new pestilences, you know, and quarantines and lockdowns and all that. Strange